Howdy, y'all. Thomas Gold here for Nuggets of Gold. It is October 30th. That's a Friday in the year 2020. My wife and I did our voting yesterday. So we took our opportunity as free citizens of this great country, and I encourage you to do the same thing, whether you do that in a early voting or you do it next week on Tuesday. Get to that polling booth and learn about the candidates from the top to the bottom and take advantage of the liberty that we have. We are down to 4 cards in our verse packet. Well, we've got 4 cards and then we've got some secret verses on the back of the cover. We're going to work through these. Let's do this green one today. As always, I have not pre-read or pre-selected these verses in the packet. Let's see 1 Peter 2, 9 and 10. 1 Peter 2, 9 and 10. Let's see what we get. You, this is speaking to Christians, and the you is a plural, so it's like a y'all, all right? So let's read it in that way. Y'all are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for God's own possession, that you may proclaim the excellencies of Him who called you out of darkness and into His marvelous light. Once you were not a people, but now you are God's people. I haven't said this for a while, but I'm going to pause and I'm going to encourage you to look up the verse and read it a couple times before we come back. 1 Peter 2, 9 and 10. And I'm going to pause and pray. You pause, look it up, read it over. Let's come back and chat. What a powerful, powerful verse. I strongly urge you to memorize 1 Peter 2, 9. This verse just blew me away about 10 or 15 years ago. Strongly encourage you to tattoo this one on your brain so that the Holy Spirit can use it to encourage you. The book of 1 Peter, written by a guy named Peter, the Apostle Peter, was written, it says at the beginning of the book, to the exiled elect. Peter was writing to Christians who had been scattered out of Jerusalem because of persecution. They've been scattered all over the known world at the time, throughout the Roman world, and they fled because of the persecution that came to Jerusalem was trying to wipe them out. So you can imagine with me these people operating in little groups, starting little churches, but wondering, when do I get to go back home? They're not around their kinsmen. They're not around a large group of people. Remember from the book of Acts that thousands of people were becoming Christians. It was like a growing nation within the nation of Israel. And now they're all scattered because of persecution. They don't have the support system intact. They can't email each other. They can't text each other and encourage each other on social media. And so as Peter writes to these people, he uses these words. And you got to understand, this is to those that are exiled and they're spread out and they're separated and they're wondering about, who am I? Is it worth following this Jesus? Did I make a mistake? Was it all a lie? And here comes Peter. You are a chosen race, a royal priesthood, a holy nation, a people for God's own possession. And so in the middle of wondering, who am I? What is life about now? Is it worth it? Should I just go back to Jerusalem and turn back to my former Jewish ways? Excuse me. Peter is encouraging them. Who are you? Who are you? In the midst of your wondering, in the midst of your suffering, your legitimate suffering, who are you? You are a people of God's own possession. Who am I? I am God's. And that's the main thing I want to encourage you with today. Who am I? I am God's. The beginning of the verse says, you are a chosen race. God chose me. God sent his son who died to save me. God set his saving grace on me. You are a chosen race. You have been added into God's nation, or maybe more familiar language, into God's family. I am a child of God in his forever family. I am God's. So anytime we wake up, we face confusion, we face suffering, we face relational breakdown in our horizontal relationships, we need to come back. 1 Peter 2:9. Who am I? I am God's. I am God's. And then the verse goes on to say, and you have a life mission. You have a life purpose that's bigger than anything that's dictated by the people around you or where you live. Your identity is not based on where you live, who you live around, or even what job you have. The purpose of life, this verse says, is you're a people for God's own possession so that you may proclaim the excellencies of him who brought you out of darkness and into his marvelous light. These exiles could know, wherever I'm at, I can proclaim the excellencies of Jesus. Wherever I'm at, I can display and I can declare who I am, which is a saved, loved member of Jesus' family because he died and rose again and gave me new life. So take this with you. This is a joyful nugget. This is an encouraging nugget. Who am I? I am God's, and I exist to proclaim what is truly excellent no matter where I am, no matter who I'm with, and no matter what else I am doing. Go. Be excellent with him and for him today. We'll see you next time.